Hello, this is Sudhakar Moparty. Today we are going to talk about data encryption in AWS S3 service. So I have my circles representing classes and the stars representing the objects. That's my c1c2 diagram. So let's get to our c1c2 diagram. And we are having our account, and our account has S3 service. You have a KMS, key management service, all other kinds of services. So from this S3 service, we're going to explore the encryption aspect of it. So whenever we say encryption, I'm uploading a file and I want to encrypt the data that I'm uploading. And you have two choices. Is it server-side encrypted or client-side? And the opposite of server-side is client-side. So if it is server-side encrypted, then let's say this is server-side encrypted. This encryption that I'm uploading an object, and so that's a session. I want to encrypt, and so is it server side? Am I encrypting? If so, in order to encrypt, you need a key pair. Public key. Every key pair has a public key and a private key. So we will talk about more in detail how pair public, private keys and key pair. This just this part of it. We can just this part of it. We can have a video by itself. But for now, we'll just say you need a key to encrypt. Basically, you are taking some data and then you're taking a key and then you are changing the data itself, and then the resulting data would not be in the same source format. So nobody can see and make sense out of it. So you need to decrypt, you need this key pair again in order to decrypt it. So anyway, so this key pair, now the question is, who maintains this keys? So I got a key, I need a key, I need a key pair to encrypt my data that I'm uploading, but who maintains it? Is it Amazon maintaining it? Or is it me having my KMS key management service managing it? So I can say, oh, this key is managed by Amazon S3 service. Okay, so let me just draw permanent arrow. So this thing is managed by S3. And whereas, let's say this key is managed by KMS, which I have control. So where this key, this is my key pair. That's my key pair. Because I am the one who is going to maintain this key pair, and whereas this one will be maintained by Amazon S3 service, you can say. Okay. So those are basically who is maintaining this key, Amazon S3, or what am I maintaining? Basically, I'm maintaining this key pair. What am I maintaining when I say key pair? I'm maintaining what is a key and what is a public key, what is a private key. Those two strings, and put it in together, we are maintaining. Anyway, we will have that whole section as a separate video. Now, when I say server-side encryption, which means on the AWS S3 or AWS KMS, we have on the server side these keys maintained and all that. So when you upload some file, it will use those things and then encrypt. Whereas if this object is encryption, client side, this is yes, is a server side. If it is no, that means it's client side. So it is encrypted. So which means now I am the one who is responsible to on the client side. When I say client side, outside AWS, there I need to encrypt and then send the data, encrypted data to S3 for upload. And so that's what I mean by client-side encryption. Now, there are keys. I can maintain the keys here, or I can even maintain the keys outside AWS. And then when I'm making an upload request, all I have to supply is this key pairs. Let's say this is customer maintained. Okay, is customer managed. It's another aspect. Doesn't matter. There are three ways to do it. Okay, so the customer managed means I outside my AWS, those key pair will be maintained. Customer managed. Okay, so this key pair, I will not. It will not be these two keys will be in Amazon cloud. But whereas maybe I should not draw this arrow from there to here, because let's assume that these are all AWS in the cloud. So let me do that. Okay, let me take out this arrow. But this is outside, customer managed, it's outside. It's my office, not the AWS. And where I have my key pair. Okay, so this one would be my key pair, my customer key pair. Okay, so this is my data center where I am storing those keys. Okay, so I will use this key, and whenever I'm uploading, I'm going to take this key and then pass it as part of my request. So all this thing will not be there, So it will just take this key. Okay, it has similarly public key and private key. So it will take this particular key that I'm supplying, and then it will use that to encrypt and then put it in my bucket. All right, so looks like I made it clear. Let's recap. We want to encrypt the data that we are uploading. So we need a key to encrypt any data, and that key can be maintained by Amazon S3, or it could be maintained in my key management service, which I will specify. Okay, so I will specify, or I outside my AWS, I have my key, I can maintain. So somebody has to maintain that key. Okay, so there are three ways that you can maintain the key, and once I have the key, then I can encrypt or decrypt. And then I can do this on the server side. Server side means this one and this one. Okay. On the client side encryption, I can simply pass as part of my request. I didn't draw the request circle. So let's say this is the request to encrypt. And so while I'm requesting for encryption, I supply this particular key because I'm responsible to manage the key. Okay, that's all for today. Hope you have some understanding at a very high level. Now, if you go back to the documentation and read about all this data protection, server side default, and Amazon S3 managed, S3 managed, KMS managed, customer managed, all that, that should start making sense. And that under security, about S3 object security. That's all I have for today. Have a nice day or evening, wherever you are in the world. Take care. Bye-bye for now.